know you're been on the SWAT team there in Phoenix, a major city. You can't get into the tactics of that. But we were talking during the break. You were saying massive sophistication.
Right, right. Actually, I'm in southern Arizona, but yeah, I mean, anybody with common sense that have any kind of tactical experience can understand that the things that we've seen, this guy is not operating alone, and he's not operating on his feeble tactics. Supposedly, he never shot a gun before. He never had any tactical experience. He wasn't in the military. For him to choose particular vantage points, egress, different things like that is spectacular for somebody who has the character and personality that I guess we know of in this gentleman. I mean, you know, him
23 guns.
Right, right. For a person that never owned a gun before, supposedly, his family is saying, for him to have 23 guns at one point, he must have at least tried them out, tested them.
Well, what do you make of his brother first saying, oh, he didn't have any guns, wasn't into it, wasn't political, he didn't do it, to he did, he had all the guns. I mean, the brother's been caught lying.
Right, because, you know, this is the truth of the matter. You know, sometimes people defend their family members. You know, you got a family member that's crazy. You may not want to expose them right away, but you know, and they know that this guy wasn't hiding in the closet and not showing signs and symptoms of being psycho. You don't just go from being a normal person to doing something crazy like that and nobody see a clue. Not even sleep patterns, not even the fact that they won't answer the phone when you call or they have an attitude all of a sudden. His girlfriend testified that, I mean, I say testified, she spoke and said that he was having these nightmares.
He would have screamed for hours.
Yeah, you don't just go from being a normal person to screaming for hours at night. It's very, very suspicious, and I think that his family know. There's other people that are out there that know who he is and thought, you know, his neighbors even said that, you know, he's kind of weird.
Why do you think then the family at first just said, oh, no guns, totally normal?
They're trying to protect the personality of their family member. They don't want the media to take it and run with it and make him out to be this.
We all know the casinos are 60-40 if you're at a better one, 70-30 at others. He always was a winner. I mean, getting back to the money laundering thing and all these connections, millions a year on gambling, supposedly winning, I don't buy it.
Right. I mean, there's two sides to every coin, you know, so I think that he could be very, very sophisticated. He could be going to the casinos and playing all the time. Therefore, he can kind of game the system. But at the same time, it's highly suspicious. I don't have any information about it, but I'm not going to sit there and look at it at face value and say, oh, this guy's just such an expert and he's just winning all the time. So I think there's definitely a component there, too.
We've got Robert Kiyosaki coming up about his book and the economy and the world, everything that's happening. But just overall, I'm not in some butt-kissing mode of President Trump, but $4 trillion in the stock market, hundreds of billions of new jobs, 1.6 million new jobs, 3.1% growth rate they said he can never had. The border, 69% reduction in illegals coming across. NAFTA GATT being renegotiated, TPP dead. All these other good things, cutting all these regulations, trying to get middle-class tax cuts. I mean, wow, why doesn't the establishment just get out of the way? Because they're richer, even getting richer. Goldman Sachs, they say, has had the biggest profits ever, but they still want to destroy Trump.
Right. It's about being haters. And I think that it's obviously have a lot of political turn to it. But when people hate on you, they don't want to see you succeed. I don't care what you're doing. He could find a cure for cancer today, and they're going to find an excuse to demonize what he's doing. And it's just because they're hating it. They're not the ones in office. They're not the ones running the country. They can see that their agenda is falling apart day by day, and they can't handle it. At all costs, they're going to try to ruin his reputation, whether it's...
And that's it. And if he didn't deliver, it'd be one thing. They've had his hands tied behind his back. He's already delivered so much, it's crazy.
Right, right. He's done so much for this country, and they don't want to talk about it. But you know what? We see it. The people like myself who have been, you know, who have awakened to the reality, and we go out and vote. I mean, we're waking up to this. I can see, you know, I have my own mind. I can look at a piece of paper. I can look at the news. I can look at the stocks. I can see that he's progressing, and I can see that I personally feel better with him being the president, and I don't care what they say. They're just making up lies.
And so they're throwing big tantrums like you said earlier.
Right, throwing like a kid throwing a fit over a popsicle.
Stay with us.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.